I want a divorce.
Welcome to the Coffee House. I'm Curtis.
And I'm Tiffany. Welcome to our series for 13 games of Halloween.
This is an informal series of 13 games that we think you should get to the table this spooky season. Now, this is not meant to be an in-depth review of any of these games, nor are we going to get super deep into the mechanics, how to play, anything like that. We're just going to give you a general overview of these games, the vibe, and why we think you should bring them to your table this holiday season. Now, the game you see before you comes with a gigantic warning. You may not have any friends left
Or spouse.
after playing this one. This is Call of Madness. This is a player versus player tower defense deck building game. Now, you may be inclined to go to BGG on this one to check it out. I urge you to ignore the score that you see on the website. The game, unfortunately, was review bombed during campaign fulfillment due to apparently abhorrent language translations, particularly the German versions. Keep in mind that the star rating that you see on BGG is not indicative of the actual quality of gameplay or production itself. It is simply anger, probably rightfully so, for the botched translations. So basically what's going to happen is at the start of the game, you're going to populate your board with these investigators, and these investigators come with these beautiful little gems. Now the problem with these gems is they each have an awful effect if they make it off of your board. The green gems will put these headquarters onto your board. The blue gems will remove 3 of your cultists from your reserve, and the red gems will set you on fire, and we all know how great fire mechanics are in board games. But pretty much what you're going to do is on your turn, you're going to play a card from your deck, and you have several things you can do with that card. You can attack the investigators on your board and hopefully kill them, removing them from your board. You can move the investigators around. You can go shopping for new cards, in which case you will choose a god. You'll place your figure on that god. You'll take the top card. And then you can also activate that god's ability on this turn or a future one. They all have a special ability. They all have different decks. Now, the cool thing about this game is that everything that you can do, every action you can take, can either be applied to your own board or your opponent's board. And that is where the mean factor comes in, because guess what? You can set your opponents on fire. You can move their investigators around the board to make it easier for them to get off of the board, because when the investigators make it off the board, that's when all these bad effects trigger. So you're going to go back and forth playing these cards round after round. The investigators are going to move down on your board, and pretty much all you're doing is trying to stay alive as long as possible. The key to this game is to realize that the game is not about clearing your board. You're almost never going to be able to fully clear your board. What you want to do is you want to manage your board the most effectively to suffer the least amount of losses. So aside from the PvP tower defense nature of this game, which I think is pretty unique, another unique aspect of the game is the cultists that you have in reserve themselves, because they are not only how you purchase new cards, but they are also your health, and then even in addition to that, they are your points at the end of the game. And that's pretty much, how the game works. Obviously, there's some more rules, there's just more things to be mindful of, but in a nutshell, you're going to be building a deck, and these cards all have different options on them. You've got usually 2 different options on every card that you can choose from. You're either going to do the top one or you're going to do the bottom one.
Depending on night or day.
Depending on night. Sometimes you even have 3 effects, because there is a day-night cycle, and this is super important too, because at the start of every round you spawn 3 more investigators on your board, and if it's daytime you only put 1 gem on each investigator, but if it's nighttime you put 2 gems on each investigator, which those negative effects can stack very, very, very quickly. So nighttime is super dangerous, but a lot of these god cards have really powerful effects if it is nighttime, but you can only utilize them at nighttime.
Yes.
And you've really got to pay attention to these cards as well, because not only do you have those options on which actions that you can take, but at the bottom of the card, some of them have special text effects as well, and then there'll be a portion there that maybe will let you draw additional cards, because card drawing in this game is a little different too. And how many cards you can have in your hand and play and whatnot is unique, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree. You really like to set me on fire in this, so...
Fire is brutal. Yeah. It's a mean
It's
game.
mean. It's
very
so mean.
But the gameplay is really fun. It's really strategic. It's really thinky.
We've gotten this close.
I don't think
Divorce.
I don't think we've ever played this game that she hasn't gotten so upset with me, because no matter how many times I remind her that we're fighting each other, I will attack her and she will kind of forget to attack me.
Because how dare you attack me?
I mean, it's competitive. It's what you do. But everyone we've played this game with, we've had friends play this game. We've had family play this game. I mean, everyone gets super into it.
Yes.
They get super salty, and it is fantastic.
And to be fair, this is a game that it's simple, it's easy. We can play it with your parents.
Yeah.
We can play it with our friends. We could play it with the kids. One of the kids, the older kid.
That might be pushing it.
I think John could play.
It's not super rules dense, but this strategy is pretty intense.
I didn't say play well.
The strategy is pretty intense. The rules overhead is pretty light. It's pretty simple. It's got your player aids that keep you in check.
Yeah.
But you know, the turn-to-turn gameplay is, you don't have to remember 50,000 rules, which is always a plus in our book. And you've also got like end game objectives that you're trying to fulfill, and there's immediate objectives that you can complete as well. So like as soon as you do the thing, you take that card and score the point, and another one takes its place. So you know, there's a lot to kind of pay attention to. There's a lot to strategize about. And again, like I said, you can do everything on your board that you can do on an opponent's board, and vice versa. And
yeah, well,
I think a lot of people forget that. That's probably the main thing about this game that people forget, is that you can play on other people's boards.
I would agree. Yeah, because I forget often.
And then when I do something on her board, she'll look at me and go, "You can't do that!" And I'll say, "Yes, I can."
It's still fun. As salty as I get, it is still a fun game. We like to play it with each other. We like to play it with even your parents.
Yeah.
Like watching your parents get into it's hilarious.
Yep.
So not only do you get a fun game, but you get a show.
Yeah, you do, because again, like there's like some table flipping action here. There's a lot of variety too. There's, I don't know, 8 or 10 different god decks that you can choose from, because you only pick 4 each game. So the different combinations and the way they kind of play off of each other as well, and the different combos that you can kind of come up with as you play the game each time. There's a lot of game in this box. There's also there's like a full dedicated solo mode. There's event cards that are optional that you can add to the game. It's just, I really feel like this one got an unfair launch, an unfair advantage, and you know, maybe they deserved it, maybe they didn't. But you know, if you get the English copy, I can verify it's fantastic. This is really fun.
Yeah.
It's not truly a Halloween game, but it's still kind of culty. It's dark. The artwork is pretty
scary.
Pretty scary. The characters are pretty ooky.
Yeah.
And again, this is just one that you can get really mean with.
Yeah.